All right, guys, welcome to another special episode of Candace. Here's my theory. I believe that the elites are aiming for clinical retardation. I'm not kidding. I believe that if somebody produced a study right now and
Clinical
said,
retardation.
don't drink water,
What does that even
50%
mean?
of people in the world would perish. They would die because they would suddenly just stop drinking water because the data says don't drink water. And obviously, I've showed you guys many times
How do you
my
pronounce her
podcast,
name?
my
Is
favorite
it
clip on the
Candace?
internet this
Candace.
year because it explains
Candice.
exactly my philosophy
Candace
in life.
Owens.
It's the reason why we designed the
Owens.
second edition of the Standis Cups to say don't care,
Standis.
built different.
Standis.
Very important for you
Standis
guys
cup.
to take a listen to Andrew Tate explaining what we can
Andrew
garner
Tate
from
again.
the data, as he says. Take a
Andrew
listen.
Tate.
I'm glad I'm super rich. You know, now that I'm super rich, I get to be one of those crazy rich guys who acts unusual. And they're like, oh, he's a bit eccentric, but he's rich, so he gets away with it. Like wearing a microphone on his chest. Everyone else puts a suit on, hides the microphone.
Sitting like a douchebag.
Get a microphone, bro. Don't care. Built different. Don't care. One of my habits now is ignoring all data. It's great.
And saying your own
I
shit.
love when people come to me and say, actually, we've got the data to prove. To prove what? You little.
So data doesn't prove anything.
What are you going to prove to me? I can prove to you that the ice caps are melting. There's ice in my water right now. I'm going to leave the water unattended.
It's funny how he always put his... He talks like that.
Will the water overflow out of the cup?
And then he sits
No.
like
Why
that.
are all the richest, most important people in the world who are pushing this scam buying beachfront homes?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Data says. The data's from the Matrix, and you are the Matrix. And
The Matrix, the Matrix, the Matrix, the Matrix.
Anyone who actually analyzes the data nowadays proves they're a dumbass. Have you seen that graph thing, that meme, where you have the most stupid people and the most intelligent people do the same thing? Then you have the midwit in the middle. Data is for midwits. You know? Well, the data says. Yeah, the data says. Well, actually, I guess statistically, the pharmaceutical company who sells the jab made the data. Why are you even reading it?
Listen, before I continue, you know, when he talks like this, we have to know that he is not serious about what he said. When he talks like this, it's clickbaiting. When he talks like this, he doesn't believe what he's saying. He himself said it in the case that is pending against him, that the Andrew Tate we see on social media is not the real Andrew Tate. But the thing with these guys is they have grown so big and they have built an audience that no matter what he says, when he says the truth just slides off. But because he's loud, he speaks so well, so eloquent, and he's got all of this money. But he's got a good physique too. Yeah, he's built good, but his legs are tiny anyway. People will always pick on these conspiracies. When he goes on other platforms with intelligent people, they will talk about data. But the thing is, Andrew Tate can talk over any intelligent person. And we have so many dimwit. We have so many douchebags, so many unintelligent people. We will just listen to this person who speaks the loudest, the person who can talk with no commas, no full stops, and the person who has a sweet tongue. He is God one. To be honest, he speaks very, very well. I love the way he speaks. But some of the things he says, I don't know. I got no clue, no idea, and I don't believe in some of the stuff he says.
Who sat there and said, the jab's made of 5G cellular data. And then there was extremely intelligent people like me who said, I don't trust these motherfuckers. And we both didn't get the jab.
Extremely
all the people
intelligent.
In the middle were like, well, the data says, and the news said. They
Extremely
wouldn't just make us all take a
intelligent.
jab for no reason. Jabby jab, jabby jab. If you even look at data nowadays, you're a dumbass. You should just know.
How can you just know?
People don't need data. We've just been around. You know? I've just been around. I just know things because I've just been around.
What does that even mean?
Street. If somebody's trying to give you something for free so desperately, it's probably a trap.
What does that even mean? I've just been around. You see, he supports Donald Trump. All these people who support Donald Trump speaks in coded languages. I've just been around. You know, like when Donald Trump says, some people say that. I heard from somebody that the thing works, that is beautiful, that is more than 100%, that the number is even large. This is how these people speak. Sometimes what they say doesn't make any sense, but they try to force it to make sense to you. And the way it comes out, other people, the same people they call dumbers, will believe in what they say. Remember what Donald Trump said? I love the poorly educated, because the poorly educated do not use their brain. They do not even think. They do not try to analyze the message they get from these guys. All they do is they believe in what they say without even thinking. And what they do, they spew out what they say without even sitting back and being like, oh, hang on. But should I believe in data? So if something has happened 100 times and data has been collected, should I believe in the data that has been collected from something that has happened 100 times? Or should I just be like, that data is false? Anybody who says I don't believe in data is somebody who wants to spew out conspiracies. If you don't believe in data, then you are spewing out conspiracies. It's like saying data is similar to history, right? Because if something happens and data is being collected, it's like history. So we should disregard history and just listen to what they tell us. Like, for example, some of them will say Hitler was a good person. Hitler was good for Germany. Should we believe in that? Should we not read history and see what Hitler did and just believe in what they say? Just asking a question too. You guys have to use your brain.
You're street smart like me. You're on the corner. You, your boys, some bitches. Guy comes up to you, goes, you want a hamburger? Not really. Hamburgers are good for you. If you don't eat, you'll die. Yeah. You should really have this hamburger. I don't want it. If you don't have this hamburger, you're going to lose your job. And we're going to lock you in your house. I don't trust him or his hamburger. Why were you people like, well,
you see the example he's given
about this hamburger? Do you have some data on the hamburger? Oh, it says that protein's good for you. Give it to me.
It looks like a clown.
The guy who got the hamburger is trying to force it down your neck, pull the study out of his.
And you know, some people will say they love it.
We're going to jump right into a conversation with I've watched it too many times.
She's watched it too many times.
It's kind of funny because you probably have this also. You have a point of view.
She's watched it too many times. Look, this woman is making tons of money. But you know, eventually, the truth always catch up with you. When you go around lying, spewing conspiracies, it will always catch up with you. If you believe in humanity, if you believe in nature, what goes around comes around. I don't know if she even sit back sometimes and think like, I've got a family, I've got kids. These things I'm saying, how are they going to affect my kids? My kids are growing in this world. Am I going to lock them in the house? For example, she says the president of France's wife was a man. But she has no proof. I don't know why they haven't sued her. I don't know why. Let's say, for example, she's a man. It's not a business. It's Macron's business. If he's happy, he's happy. Right? I don't know. People do believe in her. She's got how many million? 2.2 million subscribers on her YouTube platform. Imagine 2.2 million people. How many watch this? It's almost 600,000 views in one day. And this definitely by the end of this month is going to go up to 1 point something million. I saw a clip where he was saying, where she and Andrew Tate were saying that Donald Trump has been bribed. Really? And Elon Musk is different. Elon Musk, what is Elon Musk going to say? He likes Andrew Tate. He likes Candace Owens. Sorry, I'm pronouncing that name wrong. my bad. I need to probably learn how to pronounce words. Mais tu sais, quand on parle des langues ou trois langues, ça devient un peu difficile de parler. Mais, you know, the message can still go through even when you mispronounce words, but try and acknowledge the fact that you do not pronounce the words right. So what are they going to talk about?
Why can you think that? What source does it come from? I've been around. How can you think anything else? You know, and I'm not one to get in trouble, but I recently watched your show when you were talking about Macron, wife, husband, whichever one it was. The dude. And people were saying to me, Andrew, what do you think about that? And I said, well, yeah, 100% his wife is a man. And they said, why? It's like, because he looks like a little and you can see it. So what more do you want to see? You can see on his face. You could see on Macron's face that he's exactly the kind of person who would be groomed by a man. So it's obvious.
And then it's the common sense aspect where they're like, first and foremost, they are producing no evidence to the contrary. 30 years not a single picture of this person exists. We have plenty of pictures of his brother who suddenly went missing at the exact same time that Brigitte was born at the age of 30. And people don't have that common sense to go, wait, that is quite strange. Why are
Listen, when you have kids and you go around spewing nonsense like this, definitely your kid will struggle in life. Because, as I said, if you believe in life, if you believe in human nature, you will know that what you do, karma is a bitch, as they say. What you do will come around to haunt you. And the worst part with this lady is she's married to a white British male. Or was he a woman? Was he? Her kids are mixed race, biracial. You know how biracial kids sometimes struggle in this society. And when you go around spewing nonsense, conspiracies like she's doing, your kids definitely will go through some hardship. It doesn't matter how hard she's going to try and protect them, but the world is so small and so big at the same time. Your kids will have to go to school, even if you private school them, they will have to go to university, and university is the worst place. They will have to go to the wall. And all these things she's doing, these videos will always be on YouTube. And these kids will grow up to look at their mom and be like, Mom, were you really thinking this? Oh, what we all believe is these people do not believe in these things they are saying. But these conspiracies they are bringing up makes them tons of money. So money is the incentive. Money is what drives them to keep pushing these conspiracies. I will try and go straight to them talking about Donald Trump. If we can quickly, let me see. If we can quickly...
Responsible people. I think men build and protect society. We're certainly building it. We're failing to protect it. But women,
if I can go straight
women have the ability to market. And the member of the Chinese government said, we see the UK as a country that was historically important that we'd like to have good relations with. But when it comes to population, when it comes to production capacity, when it comes to safety on the streets, when it comes to educational performance, when it comes to the ability to project force, the UK cannot compete with China in any regard.
Correct.
They're historically believe it's still World War II, but effectively they're a small island far away who we'd like to have good relations with, but we do not see as a competitor or a threat in any regard ever. He just nailed it. Like, who the are the UK?
Pretty much what Putin said, by the way, too. It's like, this is behind. The system is old.
Yeah, who cares? That's right. Completely right. So in the West, we think, the West is the center of the world. But truthfully, we're not the center of very much at all. There's a lot of countries in the world that don't see us as important as we see ourselves. And we don't have a population as large as most of the rest of the world. We don't have the natural resources. We don't have the capability to produce anything. And we're now entering a dynamic where our men, because it's going to be our people against other people, right? Especially in the bipolar world, our men and their pussy-footed approach to life are going to be pitted against men who are prepared to fight and die for real.
Yep.
And we're going to see how that all works out. I guess the idea of the Western elites is that they can just continue.
When you see men like this who keep talking about fight, these men will not fight. It doesn't matter if he was a cage fighter. It doesn't matter if he was fighting in the ring. These type of people will not fight. they will cower away. People who will fight, who will be in the front line, do not even talk because they respect humanity. They respect others. But when you see somebody who always say, fight, 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 men fight, 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 these people will never fight. By the way, they have no reason to fight. They're rich. He said it one time. They said, are you going to go to war? He said, I'm rich. Why will I go to war? Only poor people will go to war. These people will never fight. But they keep saying, fight, 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 fight for what? Can he go to war? Not sure.
Common man's issues, making problems, profiting from it, and then all of the mess gets dumped on the common man.
Yes.
That's what on pizza, or you can spend it on this. We're competing with the entire world. And
I want to see if I can find.
I actually want to model it now because people have been saying to me, like, you should do like a seminar and stuff. And I'm like, actually, you're so right. Like, I wish I had not been a fool and taken out $100,000. I paid it back.
Yeah.
But I learned nothing.
Yeah.
I learned nothing. Everything that I actually became in life was because of the street smarts that I already had.
That's right.
And I would have rather have spent the $49 on the Hustler
It's
University program
so
I could learn what skill set, here's what they're using. He literally said he learned editing skills that somebody else would have paid $150K to learn.
Will
Yeah, I love the data. Do we have the data?
And teach these guys a lesson. And then I think something happened. Someone came along at some point, and I think perhaps that deal was done. And they said, look, you won't go to jail. Trump Tower will stay standing. Your kids will be safe in America. Everything's going to be okay. But you're going to have to bend on these few things. And I think that perhaps, fatigue makes Napoleon said it. Fatigue makes cowards of us all. And
do you really think Donald Trump can keep a secret? Do you really think somebody can come to Donald Trump and tell him all this stuff and he listens? This is a guy who cannot even stick to a storyline. This is a guy who cannot even stay on topic. This is a guy whose brain works like he's got bees flying in his brain. This is some of the conspiracies that these guys bring, and so many people are going to buy into it. You believe Donald Trump will accept a deal like that and keep his mouth shut? Donald Trump, you believe that? Oh my God.
He's certainly no coward, but it's amazing how daily war
Trump is not a coward.
Can grind you down. I'm still praying for a Trump victory. I still think he's going to be the best president. I still think he's going to do his very best. I just feel like somewhere along the line, something has been agreed.